Now we're speaking on the reasons for termination as a result of just cause. We spoke on the one of the reasons I said earlier for termination of contract is the buyout clause. Aside from the buyout clause, we also have the that the contract can be terminated, like I spoke also on mutual grounds, which includes both the buyout clause and also where the conduct of a player or a club forcing the other party to alter or uh, tinker with the terms of contract as agreed by both parties is also a just cause to terminate. Then the most important one is 2 months owing salaries for 2 months. Where a salary is owed for 2 months, that is the minimum, like the law states, it says 2 months. And the owing the player for so long amounts to a breach, which can lead to termination of contract. But however, that player is entitled by law to inform the club within 15 days that look, you are owing me, and the club needs to respond to remedy that infraction. Then, if we look at the laws very clearly, I will read it out so that for those who are following up, we know that these laws are there and they are live and direct. Now, Article 14.1, which provides very clearly that a contract may be terminated by either party without consequences of any kind, either payment of compensation or imposition of sporting sanctions where there is a just cause. So what it implies, like I spoke earlier, I will just leave that and go to 14b, which provides an abusive conduct of a party aiming or forcing the other party to terminate or change the terms of the contract entitle the other party, the club or player, to terminate the contract, with just cause. That's to say that where club A, let's use the issue now. But most times it's not club, even the players uh, have abusive conduct. A good player can force you, can coerce you, can intimidate, can manipulate. All this amounts to abusive conduct. Okay, so if you look at the law very clearly, that is what it states, and it's a just cause. It's a good ground for the contract to be terminated. Then let us go to Article 14b(1). In the case of a club unlawfully failing to pay a player for 2 months, the pay for their salary, we're not talking about sign-on fee, the salary is for 2 months. On the due date, emphasis on the due date, the player will be deemed to have a just cause to terminate his contract with the club, provided that he has put the club on notice of the default in writing. Okay, he has granted at least 15 days for the club to comply with their financial obligation under the contract. This is very clear. But most times, like I observe as a sportsman, I know that most clubs do not comply with this. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the fact. Okay. Now, Article 14b(2) provides that for players who are on salaries, who are not on salaries, sorry to say, their monthly pay shall be on pro rata. That is to say, the value of the pay shall be calculated on pro rata basis and shall be considered as a delay once it's more than 2 months. So this shall also be deemed as a just cause to terminate the contract, but the player must comply with the provision of the notice. These are the things that are that happens in football. Okay. Now, however, if there's a collective bargaining agreement between both parties, it is very simple and clear. If there's a collective bargaining agreement, now instead of invoking Article 14, as a just cause, the players now, based on their national law, will fall back to the collective bargaining agreement. I think that provision is very clear on that, because the terms of that collective bargaining agreement will prevail. That is what the law says, and that is what it is. Now, Article 16 stipulates that a contract cannot be terminated unilaterally by a party, especially a club, during the course of the season. These are the things most people know. During the course of the season, yeah, a player has been dropped. Not only been dropped, they tell you drop. Yeah, his contract has been terminated. Okay, so it is wrong, it is unjust. So when you do this, the player knows what to do. They can contact the legal expert to guide them on what to do as regarding their pay. So at the next video, I will be talking about the consequences for termination of a contract without a just cause. I just spoke of just cause now. So without a just cause, we will tell you what and what to do and give you the reasons why a contract can be terminated without just cause. Thank you and have a great day.